answer based on 8 different language concepts, okay? The first one asks you to rewrite the following sentence with the correct punctuation. And here's a hint. There are 2 punctuation marks missing in that sentence. Can you guys already see which ones they are? Are you thinking about it? Right. Then, I'm just going to make this slightly bigger. The second one, rewrite the following sentence and underline the indefinite pronoun. Who can tell me what a pronoun is? Does anybody know what a pronoun is at Pee-wee? Yes, so it's a word that replaces a noun, like a name or a common noun or a proper noun. Sorry, a name is a proper noun. Sorry about that. So, we get different types of pronouns. And an indefinite pronoun, if you look at your pack and you all received this pack, it's got your texts in for the term. Do you all remember this pack? But if you turn to page 4, you start language notes. These language notes are what you're going to be using when you study for tests and exams. You will get more notes for each term. Are we okay so far?
This one.
Yes. So if you turn and you find number 4 in that pack, you will find indefinite pronouns. And if we read it together, we can see that an indefinite pronoun is used to refer to things of an indefinite or unknown amount. Okay? So if we look at the examples, so they've given us a couple of indefinite pronouns in that list, and you can see them there. They are not all of the indefinite pronouns, they're just the most common ones. One of them is all. So all the kids in the class doesn't tell me how many kids are in the class. If you think back to term 1, if I was talking about all the kids in the class, I was talking about 32 kids, yes? But today, if I'm talking about all the kids in the class are here today, I would be looking at 16 kids. Can we all agree? So in this sentence, I want you to rewrite it and find the indefinite pronoun. Are we all okay with that concept?
Yes.
How many of you can already see the indefinite pronoun in that sentence? Okay, good. If you look at the examples there, it can be all, any, anyone, anything, each, everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, nobody, none, one, several, some, somebody, and someone. Remember the context, please. One is only an indefinite pronoun if it acts or takes it depends on the context. So if it is acting or taking the place of a noun, then it's a pronoun. But it may also be a demonstrative, a determiner. Okay? You need to look at how it's used. Are we all okay? Okay, by now you should have spotted our indefinite pronoun. Yes, I can see some heads going. Then prepositions we've done before, so I'm not going to spend time on it. It looks at the relation of one object or its position in relation to something else. Now, quick question. If I said Miss Gersbach is standing in front of the class, what is my preposition in that sentence?
In front.
In front of. It can be more than one word, grade 5s. Are we all okay with that?
Yes.
Hello, Smiley. Okay, right. So you've been given 3 sentences. Again, you need to rewrite them and underline. Then we get to imperative and indicative mood. Yes, grade 5s. You can get verbs have moods, guys. It's not just us. So there are 3 moods that you're going to come across during your schooling career. And today we're going to look at the indicative and the imperative mood. Now the imperative mood form of a verb is something we've actually looked at before during lockdown. Do you all remember your instructions? Yes. Instructions are basically a set of commands. If you think about directions, turn left, go straight. They're commanding you to do something. You most often use command sentences in instructions. And for that reason, they start with the imperative form of the verb. And if you go to your set of notes, number 5, moods, it gives you a definition there. So the mood of a verb can change to express different meanings such as how we think, feel, and act. The imperative mood is a verb form that gives a command. For example, if you look at that sentence, wash your hands, our imperative mood form, or the verb that's in the imperative mood, is?
Wash.
Wash. Are we all happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. So, for these two, you need to decide what your imperative mood is. Which one there is telling us what to do? Imperative moods are found in command sentences. And they're often found near the beginning of a sentence, but not always the first word. Are we all clear? Okay, then number 5 jumps from the imperative mood and we start looking at the indicative mood. Now the indicative mood is a verb form that makes a statement, or it can be used in a question. So you've been given one sentence there, and I want you to tell me what the indicative mood verb is there. And if you look in your notes, the example they give you is the kids wash their hands. Now we've just seen wash as an imperative mood form of a verb, but it can also be the indicative depending how we use it. So if we say the kids wash their hands, that is a statement. It is giving information. Therefore, it is in the indicative mood. Yes, sweetheart.
Now I'm just gonna ask for the answer. You're not gonna do
No, we'll do answers at the end. I'm glad you found it though. Okay. Then number 6, I've given you 2 sentences and I've asked you to tell me if they are in the imperative mood or the indicative mood form. Are we all okay with that one? So there are 2 sentences. One is in the imperative mood and one is in the indicative mood. You do not need to rewrite these sentences. Finally, right? Okay, you can just write the answer. But you have to write indicative mood or imperative mood. Please don't just write indicative imperative. What? Indicative what? Sunshine. Okay, please make sure you are exact. Are we all okay so far?
Yes.
Then we get to using a conjunction to join 2 sentences together to form a compound sentence. Remember we looked at complex and simple sentences earlier this week in our last activity, and we looked at simple, compound, and complex sentences during our last rotation. Now in this example, I have given you the coordinating conjunction but. Remember our 7 coordinating conjunctions. Who remembers what they are? We can remember them by the mnemonic fanboys. Can we try it together? For, and, nor, but, or, yes, so. Do you all remember those?
Yes.
It's fun remembering fanboys, eh? Okay. And the 2 sentences you are joining together are, I really want to go to school, and I have a sore throat. Just remember, because it is a coordinating conjunction, it is more likely than not going to be joining in the middle. So we're not going to start the sentence with the conjunction. Are we all okay? Super. And then lastly, this is something we did during lockdown. I'm asking you to rewrite these 2 sentences in the passive voice. So let's see how many of you remember. Active and passive voice. It's number 10 in your notes. It's at the bottom. We can say things in 2 ways. In an active way or in a passive way. When we use the active voice, it's when the subject is performing or doing the verb, the action. Are we all okay with that?
Yes.
So let's look at this sentence. John kicks the ball. I'm sure we all remember that the subject of the sentence is what the sentence is about. So who can tell me in that sentence what my subject is? Yes.
John.
John is indeed my subject. Who can then tell me what my verb is? Chat? Kicks, okay? So that is going to be your verb. Remember, your verb is your doing word. And then of course, the ball is our object. Now in this example, can we see that the subject is the one performing the ball? John, our subject, is the one kicking. Can we all agree?
Yes.
So we say that that this is in the active voice. Like your subject's being active. Are we all happy? In the passive voice, your subject is having the action done to it. Okay? So if we look at the sentence and we want to change it to the passive voice, first of all, we have to make the object the subject. So, what did we decide the object was in this sentence? We decided that the object was, together?
The ball.
The ball. So when we put it in the passive voice, most of the sentences at your level will just start with the ball. So we'll take it as an object from that sentence, and in the passive voice it will become the subject. If you do the whole sentence and you've started with the object and it doesn't make sense, you can reword it so that it makes sense if you ever get to a sentence that doesn't follow those rules. Are we okay? The ball, then we need to find our verb, which is kicks, and we need to change it. We can't say the ball kicks. The ball didn't kick. We need to say what? Who knows how we can change that?
He kicks the ball.
Okay, so how do we change it to the passive voice so that we don't lose meaning? Rose?
The ball got kicked by John.
Okay, we can use that one. Another idea. What about is kicked? Isn't that the simplest form? Okay, so the ball is kicked, and we end off by John. Remember, when you are changing, you cannot have the sentence change meaning. In the passive voice, no, the ball is not going to kick John. All it means is your subject in a passive voice is having the action done to it. We often use active voice for informal talking and day-to-day, whereas passive voice is mostly used in formal writing and communication. Okay? And you can see here that our person performing the verb is not as important. You'll even find that some examples put by John in square brackets or don't have by John. The ball is kicked. We're not concerned who kicked the ball, we're just concerned that the ball is kicked. So in your example that we were looking at, you're going to do those two sentences and you're going to change them from the active voice to the passive voice. Are we all okay with that?
Yes.
You're going to skip a line after your heading in your book. You're going to answer these questions. If it says rewrite in full sentence and then underline, please rewrite the whole sentence. If it doesn't tell you to rewrite, you just need to write the answer. You may use color for the important parts of the answer. And please remember, do not leave lines between answers. Are we all okay?